Alright. I feel like these nails were an amusing idea, even if not especially creative or anything. I mean, they sink really, really slowly. I guess the dark ooze is just very, very viscous. Oh yeah. Oh, can I climb up using that? Oh, no. Claws. Oh, that's my new, that's amusing. I get claws now? That sounds a little bit more fun. I got all these things fighting for my attention. Let me think. Are there any, like, game characters or anything I can think of that actually have noteworthy claws? And there are plenty of characters that are, like, species that would have claws. Like, Lynx is a cat, but he always wears gloves, so you don't see him have claws anywhere. Also, let's get an idea of how the game expects these to be drawn. Okay, so space just, you draw the whole hand. It's kind of silly, but... The crab pincer. Bones. Very nice. Yeah, give me a second. I ought to be able to think of something. Okay, I do have an idea. 1 second. This game's probably gonna freeze. There we go. A particular character got kind of shortchanged in a game that I played recently. Let's make it up to them. Is this a good color? That's actually a pretty good, pretty appropriate color. Are there any others that I would like even more than that? Before I commit, come on. It's the same one as before, I know. Ooh, any of these? These seem too, saturated. Well, here we go. This seems like a good base color. A little dark, but I can take it. And this is a shadow color. A little too dark, but I could blend it a little bit better. This is a highlight color. I think that works. I think that works. Okay, cool. Those are our base colors here. And just to match what the game's expecting us to do. Alright, so palm on the bottom left, and yeah, so palm on the bottom left. Just kind of draw a very simple palm here. It's a simple cartoony one, so I'm not going to try and make this look like a real hand or anything. For various reasons, both to be on model and because I never managed to actually do one of the most infamously difficult things in drawing in this game. Okay, I'm also fortunate in that this character does not have a lot of fingers. I'd like to try to fill most of the frame to get it to look right, but I also don't want to make the fingers like way different length. Fingers will probably be longer than they look right now anyways, because this is actually the whole fingers I'm drawing right now. So I kind of like that. There is another color that we need. Where will we pull that from? This probably works pretty okay. Alright, that's the basis of it without anything shaded. So this is... I was trying to think... Certainly I've played games recently, well, ever. I've played games ever that have characters that have, like... They can, like, climb on walls or whatever. I couldn't to think of anything. But then I remembered, oh yeah! The game I finished just this week. Frogger Helmet Chaos. It has a character, which I never got to play as. Where that actually has the ability, like their gimmick is being able to climb on walls and whatnot. I have too many pallets now, oh my god. That's just not the best way to choose pallets. Why is this game obsessed with everything being linear? Like, literally one-dimensional on a line? Like, a grid of pallets is nice to have, like the first game had, or being able to move in 2 dimensions in the town so it doesn't always take 60 seconds to move from one side to the other. Ah! But, as I was saying. This is the right color, right? Yeah. I did want to... Yeah, I wanted to get a smoother shading color here. Please stop. Yeah, so these are the hands of specifically Barry from Frogger, of all things. To make up for her complete lack of opportunity to actually demonstrate this ability back in the game she very barely appeared in my playthrough. And that supposed to keep on the curvature. Even still, this shading feels a little harsh to me. Come on, man. Sometimes I'm just getting lazy. I should resize the brush to accommodate the shadow being thinner. Blaze! This is... Every single time I play this game, I just slowly lose patience with trying to draw things. Like 1 hour playing this game is enough each time, purely because of this. It doesn't really line up there, does it? Highlight goes straight into the shadow. Trying to make that make some amount of sense. Okay. Highlights for the orange part. Don't like brushing up against the edge of the screen, the edge of the canvas, but oh well. I think it looks very good when I do that, since you get that very obvious hard border on the side. Yeah, nothing fantastic. The shading on this is pretty screwed up, but could shrink down the highlights and then add a little like specular kind of thing on them, which might look a little bit better. Or I can just do a lazy attempt at some kind of specular or something anyways. I'll leave it like that, I think. Game. I want to point. Please. I was hitting that button a whole lot just now. I was saying the A button, that is. These are so big. It still makes sharp noises when I grab the wood. It would make more sense if I was grabbing onto the wood with claws. So I'm gonna double jump after that. But he's gonna slide down but not up. That is, hey, at least some reference to. Is that a Baki in full armor? Some reference to something from a game I've recently done that's not related to SpongeBob. I'm very disappointed that these Brussels sprouts are not actually rendered. You just get bags. That armor's not doing much for these Bakis. Oh, I have like a claw animation for scratching at stuff. And these things die in one hit. I don't know if the claws made me more powerful or what, but those things did not die in one hit in the first game. This game seems quite easy so far still. I know I've said that a couple times, and I realized it's kind of tempting fate saying that, but the other games seem to start decently easy and then pick up in platform difficulty, even if just in the first game because the platforming wasn't very easy to control or anything, and the screen crunch was considerable. But in this game, it's just plain really easy so far. Oh. Oh, I see. It's like a... Okay. It's like a trampoline kind of thing. It's kind of satisfying doing this, even though you could just jump up all at once. That hitbox is still so huge. I do not mind this as a gimmick. Oh man, the spats are big in this game. Of course, everything's huge in this game compared to you for some reason. Street debris. Just draw some debris. Look how big this guy is. Anyways. It should be cleaned up by someone. Well, you're telling me to create the debris game? Does that seem kind of backwards? What do you think the debris should look like, game? Plastic bag, that's appropriate. I was just thinking like a paper or something. Like when I think of just stuff blowing around on a street, I think like paper bags or plastic bags. But if I think like fiction where it like has some kind of dramatic effect, I think maybe more like paper bags or little sheets of paper. It can't be like fully white paper, it's gotta be like dirty white paper. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull off the shading to make this look right, but I have some paper that's kind of twisted in 3 dimensions here. I feel like it would be better if it was not like that. I don't know if I like that way of curving more. No, I don't think I do. Fun part though is like this is the sort of thing that's really hard to make look good doing a hard shaded aesthetic. I also don't want to spend forever doing a soft shading on this. These are some subtle shades I'm going for right now. I was thinking that might be sufficient, but I might... Jeez, still really dark there. Still want something more subtle than that. Just to say that the parts that are further from the edges have less light on them. Not sure I'm really liking how this one's going actually. I think I might just go with the... if I make it really subtle this might work, but the way I'm doing this now, I'm not feeling especially fond of. No. Okay. There is some tolerance, so to speak, in the color for the fill bucket. Which makes sense to have, but... Here we go, like this might work a little. Maybe. Even that still kind of gives the notion of the paper being rounder than it is. I'm not sure I like that. Like, yeah, it's like bent and curled in a rounded fashion, but not in the way that this kind of makes it look. I think I'll just go with that. I think like newspapers blowing around or something. I could have actually put like newspaper print on it or something now that I think about it, but I think that's okay. Should I have ended the episode before I started drawing that? I think I might have been at 50 minutes or something already. Anyways, cool. Just got papers blowing around now.